But yo, Mav, you know what's dope? As far as your story in comparison with your story, going from battle rap and going into the podcasting world, is that he just went from battle rap into the rap world.
Right.
You understand, as far as getting a deal.
Right.
But it's still a great comparison.
But that was the method, because if you didn't have $100 grand to put in a promotion and recording and all that stuff, you battled. Right. You battled because your name would travel.
Right.
And you know, when you're walking into those offices and nobody know who you are, you just got that one moment. You know what I mean? But if they know who you are before you walk in, off the strength of whatever you tearing rappers up outside,
right,
it's different.
Right.
Yeah, also, two separate eras though.
Yeah.
Like between his era and your era.
Yeah. Bimmy, he actually came here and told the story about. We told the story about him seeing me battle and wanting to sign me to Def Jam.
Oh, I remember.
So, yeah.
I remember seeing that episode.
Word.
Bimmy was one of the dudes that was one of our, I mean, obviously Queens, right? But it's more about that was the other thing too. You know, when I was coming up also, you know, Fat Cat, Tommy Mickens, all those dudes were the guys who looked out for me. Right. You know, I never got robbed in a quarter. I never got stuck up. You know, my favorite line is, I can walk on any Martin Luther because I know every shooter on every Martin Luther. It became, I was okay walking by myself. Right. Because everybody showed me so much love, and I just showed them so much love. I'm one of these people that I'm really good at remembering names, not just faces.
Right.
You know, and it goes back to what Wes said to me in that office. It goes back to the fact that I appreciate everything that I've had the opportunity to get,
right,
to receive.
Right.
You know, it's just, even with Nas, Nas coming to see me in the studio when I was doing Back to the Grill, there was no way I was going to take advantage of a 17-year-old kid. It just wasn't going to happen.
Right.
I was going to make sure he was protected. All Nas ever asked me for is make sure to get his mother out the project. You know, the thing that was really a born-to-born moment for me, a full circle moment, when I delivered Nas his checks on the 40 side, I went to his building. I was looking out his mother's living room window, and from the 40 side you could see 59th Street. And I always saw that as a beacon of hope. That past the bars was paradise.
Right.
And some 27 years later, I'm watching Ozark. And I'm watching the first episode of the final season.
Yeah.
And they used Illmatic for the entire show.
Yep.
And the Killer Mike is there, and he's talking about that same window.
They make the same reference.
But he says, I always saw it as a prison. And I started crying. And I'm in bed watching with my wife, and I'm bawling because I never saw it that way.
Yeah.
And it was just such an amazing juxtaposition that some 30 years later, it has such an important, it's the only rap record in the Library of Congress. It's the only rap record that's taught at both Oxford and Harvard. It's the only rap album that has 17 number ones based on their lyrics. I mean, Illmatic has been a testament of time, and I didn't make a single lyric. I was not involved in a single piece of the production. But I took Nas to Pete Rock's house every day for 4 months. I made sure every contract, every sample was cleared. I made sure every producer agreement was done. I made sure that when those 165,000 albums got sold week one, he was a millionaire and he never looked back.
See? The unsexy jobs.
So it's okay, and I gotta tell you,
it's sexy to me. I don't know.
It's and it's okay, my wife and I laugh about it all the time because, it's okay what the trolls say. I could give a fuck what the YouTube says about, Nas, give Nas back his shit.
Right.
You don't know shit. And it's okay that you don't know shit because you're not supposed to know shit.
Right.
You can feel however you want to feel. I know what's real.
Right.
I know what my checks say. And I know what I earned. I didn't steal a fucking penny. I earned every penny of that fucking 2% that I made.
Did you ever run into Jay-Z and be like, hey, man?
Yeah, all the time.
Why
I mean, right after,
that?
no. I mean, listen, he know, look, the one thing I love about Jay is Jay knows how to poke the bear. Because Jay comes from that era. Jay was a battle MC.
Yeah.
So he comes from that era. He knows how to poke the bear. You know?
Right.
I know I paid. What do I care? You know, and the other funny thing is, there was never a Searchlight Publishing until 2011.
Oh shit.
Name of the publishing
That's
company was
crazy.
The name of the publishing company was Schematics. Schematics Publishing.
Yeah.
Because I run the Schematics.
Well, on both sides, Serch, you know, I mean, Jay said what he said on Takeover, but Nas said, but look, hold on.
you feel the need to defend right now.
No, I'm not defending.
I know
No.
you do.
I'm
Yeah.
just contrasting, right? So
Right.
Jay said what he said on Takeover. You know, I know who I paid God Searchlight the publishing,
Right.
but then Nas said a lot of things.
Show off. I count
in
door off while you
ether,
saying
right?
what
That
my-
wasn't true. It was jokes.
I rule
Just
you.
poking at
you used
you.
to rap like the food snickers.
But Jay said shit that, you know, we believe. We like, oh, Searchlight Pro.
It's
For years, I
it's
believed that
credibility.
until
It's
now.
credibility.
Credibility.
But you know what's funny?
It's crazy.
You talk about credibility, but so few people mention the 6 songs that Nas created, Surviving the Times, that he gives me and shows me love. Rebel Love Hip Hop coming through a white rapper. Nobody ever talks about the love that he shows me.
Well, Jay has made a big deal in letting everybody know that he doesn't lie in his rhymes. So when he says, I paid Searchlight Publishing,
Yeah,
but that's the danger.
But no,
Like
but
I
it-
know,
but
like
let's- yeah,
if
but
you
yeah,
people look at you, it's like, yo, he's the real guy. He's gonna. The day you decide to just twist the truth a little bit, it's gonna sell.
And then the Nas,
That's a fact.
didn't Jay also say, only believe half of what I say and
Yeah,
not
fact.
nothing,
Yeah.
nothing of what I, nothing
Nothing
what
what
you
you hear.
And with
on
that
behalf of
said,
what
I
you
will
see.
kill niggas dead.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like, why can't this just be, you know, what it's always been, which is a beautiful essay of wordplay, and let's appreciate the wordplay. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always come down to how,
Real,
not even real, authentic.
authentic.
And sometimes we have to scale back and say, yeah, it comes from an authentic place because we live in an authentic place.
if the man says authentically, you ain't get a dime, dude. You was getting fucked then. I know who I paid God, Searchlight Publishing. There's no way to see it. There's no innuendo in it.
Authenticity.
It just is what it,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's just a statement. It doesn't sound tongue in cheek. It sounds
Yeah, but it was also
Right.
it was on a battle run.
It's a battle rap.
and
Right.
like yeah, but the whole point of that specific battle, I think one of the reasons why it gets so much credence is because of the authenticity that we believe to be.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
those
it was
lines.
listen. It was our Ali Frazier.
I showed you your first tag.
Yeah,
One
when,
tour with
Tech
Large
on the dresser.
Professor.
Yeah.
And then the stories come out corroborating that he did show him the first. So why wouldn't we? Why would we
not
believe
believe
that?
that,
I also
right.
and
yeah,
not
but
believe this
again,
other
I
one?
think that I think in my case, not in every case. I think in my case, it's easy to blame the white man. It's not true, but it's easy because it's believable in 9 times out of 10. It's easy to believe
That
in
one
9
man
times out of
fucked you
10.
over.
It's already a sold story.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's, but for me, if you were in the room with me when I made the decision with my wife to do this with Nas, I told her the same thing I told my lawyer is I'm not going to be the Jew that fucks the black man. I will not be that guy. I will not be Morris Levy. I will not be Ahmed Erdogan. I will not be any other. I will break the mold.
Yes, sir.
Why was that important for you?
For the exact same reasons I got in the game, because I was given my ghetto pass when a ghetto pass really was something, when it really had credence, when I was allowed to go to 165th and Gates and go see Ultramagnetic and not get robbed, because the word was out, hey, my man Serch is coming, leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like my routine was Latin Quarter, Union Square, Rooftop, SNS. Downtown was downtown, but Decepticons ran downtown. So the original 50 Cent and his brother A-Rock had my back because I went to school with all of them at Music and Art.
Rest in peace.
Then I go to Latin Quarter, I'm good because everybody know me there. Then I go to 155th to fucking Uptown. I'm good. And then I go to I'm going to SNS at 5 o'clock in the morning and nothing happens ever. Nothing. It's because of the respect I gave people, and because they knew I was not coming in to do anything that was counterintuitive. I was not here to be, Chuck D used to lovingly refer to me as his favorite white spy. Because he would take
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.